This is a great comparison of the different port roles and port states for spanning tree protocol and rapid spanning tree protocol. The terminology is quite different between the two, and you'll see that here. When we're dealing with spanning tree protocol, you will have root ports and designated ports, and that's the same with rapid spanning tree protocol. And it's nice that these ports, regardless of whether it's spanning tree protocol or rapid spanning tree protocol, the states of those ports is forwarding. But that's where the similarities end and the differences begin in the terminology. We have a non-designated port, which describes the port that is preventing the loop from happening within the spanning tree topology, and it's in the blocking state. However, with rapid spanning tree protocol, those ports that are preventing the loop are called alternative or backup ports depending on where they are within that topology. The alternative port is the port on the non-root bridge that is currently not the root port or a designated port. However, it could become the root port if the current root port fails, goes away, or there's an issue. It can quickly transition into the root port and go forwarding. That's what makes rapid spanning tree protocol quicker. In addition to that backup port in the shared Ethernet segment, if the current designated port goes away, then the backup port can take over that designated port role relatively quickly. So instead of classifying them as blocking, with rapid spanning tree protocol, you classify the state as discarding. Disabled ports both exist for spanning tree protocol and rapid spanning tree protocol, but there's no state associated with it for spanning tree protocol. With rapid spanning tree protocol, you classify it as discarding. And then lastly, the transitionary phases. With spanning tree protocol, you have listening and learning, and with rapid spanning tree protocol, you simply have learning. So if we examine some of these in a little more detail, for rapid spanning tree protocol, you can see that discarding, no data frames are sent. No data frames are sent whatsoever out that interface that's discarding. No data frame should be received inbound on that interface either. In the learning state, we're going to spend time populating that MAC address table. And the learning state is relatively quick with rapid spanning tree protocol. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time learning MAC addresses, because once we are forwarding, we can continue to learn MAC addresses at that point as well. And then in the forwarding state, we are forwarding frames, we are receiving frames on that interface that's in the forwarding state.